One Yorks levelled it through Private Sloan at 63.5 kilos, beating Private Fuller of 2 Para on a second round stoppage, a performance that won him Best Boxer of the Night. After that, it was all victories for the Paras in the blue corner. A third round stoppage for Private Day over Private Frost of One Yorks in the third round of their 67 kilos bout. Corporal Andrews at 71 kilos, their captain, Private Ryan Walker at 75 kilos, won on points against the most gallant boxer of the night, Lance Corporal Noble. And there were also wins for Private Drury at 80 kilos, Lance Corporal Jones at 86 kilos and Private Unden at 92 kilos, until the last bout at super heavyweight with Private Dixon of One Yorks taking a points win over Para Private Oakley. 2 Para will head to the final in Aldershot next month, and they'll meet Cyprus-based One Royal Anglian, and they can't wait.
Phenomenal performance tonight, happy with a 7-2 win.
A great atmosphere here tonight. Obviously, you had the home advantage, and you certainly made that count in the the early part of the evening.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we like to sort of hit them hard early. So all the lads, credit to them. They're really grafting now, and just the fitness really shown tonight.
Valiant effort tonight all round. They've all done themselves justice. Very proud.
I mean, you've got most gallant boxer of the night and the boxer of the night as well. So you've not gone away totally empty.
No, we've done all right. We've got a couple of awards, a couple of individual awards, which we can be proud of. But as a team, as the night went, the best team won, and congratulations and good luck in the final.
And welcome back to the second half of this inter-services match between the Royal Air Force and Army ladies. It is 2-1 to the Light Blues, thanks to an incredible goal just before half-time. The RAF actually went 1 goal down to the Army, thanks to an Anna burnt whistle attempt, which went through the legs of RAF keeper Emily Gascoigne, the arms and the legs, unfortunately for her. But the RAF equalised, and just on half-time, a brilliant strike from Pip Wilson was deflected, and Farrow came in, and it was played in off her body, which put them in charge at half-time, 2-1. So the RAF proving that 3-0 goal difference to the Royal Navy was well deserved, but the Army are fighting with everything that they have. I've actually got a bit of clarification from Steve Johnson from Royal Navy FA, and he's been listening to our commentary, and he just wanted to clarify, for a win, draw, 1-0 or 2-0 loss for the RAF will win them the IS Championship. The losses would still allow them to win it on goal difference. An Army 3-0 win means that the Royal Navy would win it on goals scored. An Army 4-0 win will give them the championship on goal difference. The championship, if points are equal, is decided on firstly goal difference, secondly the result of the game between the tied teams, thirdly goals scored. If the result cannot be achieved with any of the above, the competition is tied. The score is at 2-1 now, which would give the RAF that goal difference, but also that, crucially, that inter-services win. So thank you for that, Steve Johnson. I hope that makes sense.
Cheers, Steve.
Yes, cheers, Steve, big man. But thank you for that, because I know we were talking about the Army having to win by a 4-goal difference, but even in a loss, the RAF could win it. But at the moment, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
There's still 45 minutes to go.
You're absolutely right, Kempy, of course, wearing the red of the Army next to me.
Positive thinking.
But thank you so much for joining us here on Forces News, Facebook and YouTube. We're also on BFBS TV as well, so bringing you some Wednesday afternoon action. And of course, the men will be playing this fixture later at Shrewsbury Town as the Royal Air Force look to kick off. I'm just going to see if there have been any changes. I don't think anything's been changed at half-time, which is understandable because they were on a roll. I mean, that goal from Wilson and then Farrow was crucial, really, crucial, of course, because it puts them 2-1 ahead. But just scoring just before half-time gives you that momentum.
Yeah, so just one change for the Army. So we've got Tara Parker, who was in centre-back, has moved over to the right-hand side. Tony has gone off, and we've got Chantal Dunbar, who's now in that centre-back position.
It's my new favourite name in military football. It used to be Sweeney Todd,
Oh, really?
Andrew Todd from the Royal Navy, but I think Chantal can take that now. So the Army then looking for an equaliser here playing for pride they are after a 5-2 defeat to the Royal Navy. They did go 1 goal up thanks to Anna Burntwhistle, but the RAF then scored twice before half-time. It is 2-1 to the ladies in light blue, and they'll be desperate to keep that lead or increase it. But the Army have come here fighting today, and it's been a great match so far.
Yeah, good little nick there by Courtney Jones. Looking for Burntwhistle, laying it off to Imogen Fisher, who just trying to play through Gemma Dinning, but hitting the RAF defender. Again, we see the pace from Lucy Farrow there.
Amazing.
She's so quick, so hard to deal with.
We've got that, and you've got Pitt Wilson on the other side with dancing feet and the pace there. You can see why the RAF are so strong in attack, but the attempt there from Wilson well over Burnfield's goal.
Yeah, but it's took a deflection, so it's a RAF corner.
We've seen plenty of these. Griffiths again stepping up to take the corner for the Royal Air Force. It's got much lighter here, Kempe. We did have a forecast for rain all afternoon. I can see the cameras are still covered, but it was spitting earlier. But as the game's progressed, the skies have cleared a little. So not that it really matters in an all-weather pitch, but Griffiths then with an RAF corner, one of many, but yet to score off one. It's a lovely feed in, possibly a little bit far for Beaver. And that goes out for an Army throw.
Yeah, just Tara Parker looking for Imogen Fisher in the middle. Just not enough power on it to reach her, but goes out for a Army throw.
Just making sure we are live on YouTube and Facebook. I know we've had a few technical issues, so thank you for sticking with us. If you are not seeing us live, then you probably just need to restart your Facebook or YouTube pages, and we're filing as a second half. So please do join us and tell us where you're watching from, who you're supporting. Are you light blue or are you red?
Oh, Tara Parker, is she through? Oh no, keeper did well.
Yeah. Gascoigne, probably a very relieved keeper after her RAF colleagues managed to get them 2-1 up. Not a mistake from her, but just a bit nervy when Anna Burntwhistle put in that goal in the first half hour. The RAF then wanting to keep their lead. How hard is it, Kempe, with a narrow lead that it is, 2-1? You had momentum, you went out to half time to sort of keep that momentum going into a second half.
Yeah, it is. It can be at times, but that's when you just need to club together and just obviously, say, look, come on, let's pick up where we left off. Let's extend that goal. That if they can extend that to 3-1, I think that would really settle the RAF down, and they'll really start to enjoy this game a little bit more. But like you said, you've got to be careful that you don't push up too far. I mean, the Army against the Navy, you can see they were going for it, and then it left them vulnerable at the back, and the Navy scored to make it 5-2. So it's one of them, isn't it? I think for the Army, they've got no choice, but they're going to have to push up, and the RAF will be looking to get them on the counter attack and finish this game off.
The Army then awarded a free kick there on, their left wing.
Yeah, Lois Jacobs to take this, and it needs to be a good delivery.
She's got height. You said Dinning's not been involved, but she's up there with Fisher as well. Fisher tries for that, but it touches a light blue head first.
Oh, lovely play by the RAF player, great turn, but just dispossessed. Oh, the ref's given
Hannah. Beaver takes it quickly out here to Farrow again, and she'll use that speed to get ahead. Lovely footwork there from Farrow, feeding it in. She's seen.
Oh, what a ball!
Yeah, saw Wilson there.
Good defended by Gabby Collette. She's got a massive job on her hands.
The RAF then turning possession round very quickly with some lovely work down their left wing. And Arrowsmith again will be taking a throw for the light blue ladies.
Just need to be careful.
Wilson.
Yeah.
I don't think she was brought down. I think
No.
she fell down there. Farrow with another strike, but that's didn't quite connect with that properly, and it went well wide and high of the goal. So Burnfield playing it out for the Army. That's a bit dangerous. Griffiths then earning the RAF a corner because she challenged the goalkeeper, and Burnfield was hurried into a clear, which deflected off of Rachel Griffiths. So the RAF back in a fortuitous position here with another corner. Griffiths then from the right hand side, but well dealt with by Tara Parker there.
Yeah, she's played well today, Tara Parker. A lot better than the Navy game. She's felt a lot more comfortable in that back line, and yeah, been impressed with her performance so far.
Burnfield making herself big in that Army goal, but short one there. Oh, lovely footwork from Beaver. Oh, brilliant, absolutely lovely. That was Beaver's goal. A little take and another Pip Wilson score. Another Pip Wilson score for the RAF, and they lead 3-1. And we knew they'd score from a corner at some point, and funnily enough, Rachel Griffiths changed her tactic then and played a short ball to Beaver, who absolutely dealt with it brilliantly, fed it off to Wilson, and she headed it in for the RAF's goal. 3-1, they lead here at Leek Town.
So I just want to take that back. Obviously, sloppy corner to give away, and the RAF have absolutely punished the Army there, and that's what happens if you're going to mess about with it. You know, you're going to get punished. And also, obviously, got away from Heather Mearns there, and to be honest, fantastic goal.
Dilling then starting off 3-1 down the Army, and they of course scored that first goal and would have been very confident then, but like Kempy said, a few minor mistakes with Farrow's speed up against Burnfield there, but Anna Burnfield dealing with that. Sorry, Daisy Burnfield. Yeah, I mean, I want to kind of credit Kat Beaver for there, because the turn that she took was dealt with so beautifully, and the calmness of mind to then pick out Wilson there to get the goal was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's top class, wasn't it? And that is why Kat Beaver is still in the team and still doing what she does, you know.
Yes, an inspiration to many, and obviously representing at the highest level of military football that you can in the UCAF, UK in Armed Forces, as Gascoigne gathers the ball for the ladies in light blue. She's had a bit more to do since conceding that goal in the first half hour, but the light blues are on a high here. 3-1 they lead. It's a very odd mindset to come into a game and know that even a draw, or possibly, according to Steve Johnson, a loss would have still won them an inter-services title, but especially in the latter period of that first half and now into the second half, the RAF are showing their true mettle.
Yeah, I think if I was the RAF manager, I would just be saying, look, just treat this as another game. Just go for the win. Don't worry about what scores need what. You know, don't even think about that whilst you're playing. He would have just been saying, just go get me the win.
I've just spotted the Royal Navy manager in the crowd. Keep your red top underneath.
Yeah, he's gutted, isn't he?
But yeah, the RAF very much in control here. 3-1 in this final game of the inter-services, and as Kempy mentioned, of course, the Royal Navy were watching on tenterhooks, because a win for the Army, or at least a 4-0 win for the Army or less, would have got the Royal Navy a title. But as it stands, the RAF will, and I think deservedly so, take the spoils. But anything can happen. We know we've still got a good half an hour to go of this match.
So just getting a substitution. That's Heather Mearns going off and Demi Edwards replacing her. Demi, very good player with a very quick player, great feet. Quite excited to see Demi come on and see what she can do, what she can add to this game.
The Army do always have strength and depth, and yeah, bringing on someone like Demi and being able to bring on someone like Demi as you know, bodies get tired, will hopefully inject some pace and some skill. So Chantel Dumbull as well, my favourite name. She adds some height as well, doesn't she, into that forwards for the Army?
Yeah, she does. Strong player. She's come through the Army reserves first season with the Army first team. Absolute pleasure to be around. She's a top girl, but she just needs to get a little bit more experience.
As Farrow feeds.
There we go. There she gets on the ball just as we talk about.
Gets a leg there. Farrow again with a lovely feed, but dealt with by Dumbull. Back to Fisher here. Great defence by Royal Air Force. I think Fisher's complaining she didn't have anyone to play it onto, so the Army need to watch that, get themselves into a position so the likes of Fisher can feed it through. Some great footwork from both sides during this match. So much to the RAF chagrin, that is a Army ball. Fisher again fighting on the Army's behalf and earns them a throw-in. Tara Parker to Dinning. And this is a little bit panicked from the Army. They need to use the space and use players in all areas of the pitch, concentrated very much here on this right wing. To Burntwhistle, but it's one back by the RAF, and immediately they look for Farrow on that right wing. Wow, she's got pace, and she's so fast she hasn't got anyone with her, so she'll feed it back in. But that is pinged high. It's better than some attempts, but that was a bit of a wasted opportunity there from Megan Herbert.
It just proves how quick they can transition. She's the outlet, isn't she, every time. Farrow, and obviously we've got Pip Wilson as well. They're the two key players.
But crucially then, Megan Herbert looked pretty free.
Yeah,
and that's not something was not a good thing from an Army point of view.
No, they need to track their players. They need to, if you're going to push up, you've also got to have either someone covering or have it in your locker to get back with the players as well. You can't afford, because if that had gone in, obviously questions would have been asked. Who was marking her?
Well, it probably should have gone in, to be honest. It wasn't a great strike, and they need to keep an eye on that. Okay, so the Army clearing their lines here. And they'll be desperate for any kind of score. Dinning. No, she made contact, but unfortunately went right to the right of the goal. Gascoigne there caught a little bit unawares.
Yeah, she just couldn't keep it down because she just tried to loop it over the keeper, but unfortunately just went over the bar.
(3-1) then to the Royal Air Force ladies in this, the final match of the Inter-Services 2023. They are reigning champions and at the moment are looking very promising for 2023 champions, but a lot can change and the Army will always keep things exciting as Gascoigne has fed the ball back from her captain, Kat Beaver, and she's being challenged by ladies in red. The Army looking to put pressure on in all areas of the field as they fight back from a 3-1 deficit, using Farrow again, but that's too far ahead for even her to speed onto. Burnfield then.
Yeah, good little footwork from the keeper. Nice to see her confidence come back a little bit. Nice touch by Demi Edwards, just on the outside of the boot, trying to find Jacobs.
And missed by the Army assistant coach. Gabby Collett then with the throw in from that far side, having a little word with the box when she can. Yeah, it's not, I mean, the Army aren't doing much wrong. It was a little bit sort of all over the place when they first came on after half time, but I think the RAF have showed some real skill in those, especially the last couple of goals.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a better performance from the Army than when they played the Navy, but still just lacking, the final ball, just making those clear-cut opportunities. I don't think the Army have had too many. I think it's safe to say the RAF have definitely had the better opportunities.
Wilson was hoping that would reach her, but Beaver controlling it there for Wilson, but I don't think she's going to be able to keep that in.
No, surely that's gone.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's gone. Yeah, even we can see that. Wilson then still proving to be a thorn in the Army side.
It's in the back there. Yeah.
That'll be Army ball. Two yellow cards as a reminder in this game as well, one for each side. But generally it's not been too handbaggy.
No.
If I can use that phrase. Dinning then. But
good recovery.
Yeah,
great
recovery for that ball. Keepy uppy in the midfield there as both sides battling for the ball. And we are 60 minutes into the full time of this score, so we've got a good half an hour remaining as Megan Herbert is just down in the middle of the field at the moment. Let's hope that's not too serious, maybe a bit of cramp, but no, she's been helped back up. Thankfully nothing too serious in this game for any of the players. Lois Jacobs is still going strong as the RAF take back possession, and Tegan Collins then, who's a sub that's come on for the Light Blues. Oh, lovely stretch there from Megan Herbert. Right, whistle then up against captain. Don't really know who won that. I mean, it's RAF ball, but
yeah, I think she did well to just hold Anna off there and shadow it out.
Abigail Hayes then with the throw in for the RAF.
Little push there, yeah. Courtney holds her hands up, but it was a blatant push.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No.
It's being demonstrated by the official.
I think she's just frustrated, but again, it's just ticking down the clock, giving these little free kicks away. We've had, how many have we had in the last 5 minutes? Quite a few. It's been very stop-start. Yeah.
With the corners, lost count. Beaver, trying to feed it through there for Griffiths, but didn't have enough on it. That'll be an RAF throw-in. So the Light Blues in control here and in possession, as Abigail Hayes again takes a long touch corner kick to Viva, nicely controlled. She feeds it in to Farrow on her right foot, and she'll have a go.
Great stop there by Amy Barnard, because that, I believe that might have well and truly gone in the back of the net.
That was heading in. And she took it on her, took full force of that, didn't she?
Yeah, it's great play there by Farrow just to control it, get it away from the Army player and make a bit of space to get the shot in.
The Army then with a little bit of a breather after another Farrow attempt. To Dinning. Tegan Collins again. Sorry, I'm completely giving an Army name to, that's Rachel Howes, in fact. My apologies. Beaver again. Yeah, heads up all the time.
Yeah, good. Yeah, very positive from Beaver, just looking to drive forward, but Imogen Fisher not give it up.
Okay, so a substitution for the RAF. That is Rachel Griffiths going on, who's taken many a corner in this match so far. And
great corners as well, May.
Yeah.
Been really, really good.
Yeah, she's been crucial part of that front line for the Royal Air Force ladies. And just trying to see the number.
Is it 16 maybe?
I want to say 16, but there's Arrowsmith is 16, so I'm gonna.
Let's have a look.
15. Okay, so that is Georgia Carr come on for the Royal Air Force lady for Rachel Griffiths, who's had a brilliant game so far, been crucial as the corner taker, but also just part of that front line for the Royal Air Force ladies as they lead 3-1 here at Leek Town against the British Army. And a reminder, of course, that the Army went up 1-0 and they were first to score. Slightly fortuitous goal, but it's a goal all the same. But the RAF have come back strongly and they lead 3-1. Burnt whistle then, lovely footwork there.
Oh, great ball by Edwards. Just trying to set Gemma Dinnan in.
And Dinning feeds it back. She's still got it. She's still got it.
Yeah, just Dinnan's going to get... She's got about 3 players around her now, so she needs some support.
Yeah, the RAF were quick to get back.
Goal kick.
You can see just from that passage of play there how dangerous Dinning can be. If she'd been able to pass off to somebody there, she could have made something of that. But
full credit to the RAF. Just look how they just get around the players to stop the block. And
well, there were 2 down there, and suddenly within 5 seconds, it looked like the whole team had come down.
They're working really, really hard for each other.
Fitness in women's football now as well, in the military. I mean, we assume that anyone in the military is fit, but I think the professional attitude that, as a PCI she's looking at me.
Not always the case. Not always the case.
We assume that the fitness is, but the thing is, football, rugby, basketball, netball, whatever people are playing, the fitness is different anyway. So you have to be quite specific to football, don't you? Yeah,
but also, you still need to do stuff within your own time and do your strength and conditioning. And even just playing civvy football, I spoke about this many a time. There's a lot of players, I believe, from the RAF, Navy, and there's a few from the Army, but ideally you want all your players playing civilian football every Sunday, so that when they come to these training camps, their touch is already on because they've been playing regularly. But some of these players, I'll be honest, I know a few don't always have that opportunity, whether it's work, to have that luxury of playing every Sunday.
Oh, that played right into the path of Farrow. Oh, Burnfield, brilliant hands.
Yeah, strong from Burnfield. Great hands.
On that, sorry, just to go back to it, because I think it's been a real noticeable change in women's military sport, that, like you say, they've taken responsibility, playing for civvy clubs, but also just taking responsibility of being fit.
Yeah.
It's such a simple thing.
Of course it is, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to blow my own trumpet, but I am a little bit. I train every day, and I get it. I'm a PTI, but it's all that mental health piece as well. It just makes you feel better, makes you able to do your job better, and when it even comes to sport, you play your sport better. So if it's just getting that session in a day really does make a big difference. And when I'm playing centre midfield for the Corps or the Army, whatever, I expect the players around me to be, if I'm putting in the effort off the pitch, I expect them to be doing it as well.
We've had a little head clash, I think, here in the middle. So currently 2 players down, Megan Herbert and one of the Ireland players who I can't quite
Courtney
figure
Jones,
out.
I believe it is.
Jones. So a little clash here in the middle of the field, but they're both sitting up and just taking a little bit of breather. Megan Herbert's still down, but not in a bad way. I think they just need to check that everything's right, especially if it was a head collision met in the air. So both of them just coming off to be checked. And as we see so much in all sport nowadays, just do the initial checks before they're let back on.
It's a drop ball. So the Army should be able to just play from here, just carry on. Okay.
And that's a lovely, looking for Imogen Fisher, but there was a light blue wall in the way. So the RAF then 3-1 ahead here at Leek Town, and we are into the final 20 minutes of this match. this final inter-services match of 2023 for the women's competition. The men play this evening at Shrewsbury Town at 7 o'clock, and we'll be live from 1:45 the hour. So do join us there. And that's Army ball. Sorry, RAF ball there on the sideline. Beaver takes it, hoiks it forward for new legs, Georgia Carr, but even the fast Farrow couldn't get there, so Army ball back in, and there's another change for the RAF this time.
So number 8 going off, so
okay, so that is
Hannah Hale.
Hannah Hale.
Again, worked hard. Worked really hard today. Who we got coming on? I didn't quite see her number.
I couldn't see the board, unfortunately. I'll try and read her number. Okay, so the RAF then just making a change there as Wilson feeds it back to Rachel Howes. Number 10, Molly Lambert came on. So welcome, Molly. You're in the lead, 3-1.
She's
so
just bursting into the box as well. She just made a dart into the box.
Okay. And Wilson, she wasn't offside, but she's holding her head. She wants another one.
Yeah.
So, goal kick then for Army keeper Daisy Burnfield. So Army then feeding out from the goal, clearing their lines. Burnfield right into middle of the pitch, and it reaches Beaver's head.
Yeah, she's won a lot today, hasn't she, in the aerial aspect. Again, just making herself free.
I mean, 3-1 up. We talked about that cushion of another goal before half-time. But they wouldn't be looking to play possession this early on, would they? They're still looking to score.
Yeah, and it's that pride bit, isn't it? It doesn't matter. You're playing against the RAF and Navy. You want to score as many goals as you can.
Yeah.
But the difference is the RAF are just a bit more. They're slicker with their passing.
Abigail Hayes there to Megan Herbert, but ends up in Burnfield's. Yeah, they've whether they plan it or whether it's just a matter of skills, but they've definitely been able to get it into the right areas. Yeah. Beaver then bringing it back down for the RAF and forward for Georgia. 15.
Just look
Georgia
at Pip
Carr.
Wilson just bursting into that. She really wants another goal.
It's funny enough, when I watched the first game between the RAF and the Royal Navy, and I saw her celebration, I think I would have been able to recognise her from her goal celebration. It wasn't anything fancy, it's just some people just have that fist bump, and I think, I've seen that before. Of course, I think John Knighton reminded me that it was Pip Wilson or Farrow who scored the 2 goals for the RAF in that first goal. It was Farrow.
Yeah, I thought it was Farrow, yeah.
And Cat Beaver with a penalty, so Farrow already in on the team sheet, and Pip Wilson joining her this time.
Just looking at Georgia Carr in there, number 15, quite a very tall player.
Yeah.
They might be looking for her.
She backed off a bit though, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
So Beaver now stepping up as Griffiths has gone off. Beaver stepping up to take the corners. And of course that last goal before half-time was scored, just after half-time, sorry, was scored from a corner, and it was a short corner. Let's see what Beaver does. And there's a high one again, looking for the height. Oh!
I thought that went in.
Wow, well it hit the side post and then rebounded off Burnfield off. Oh, that was lucky for the Army.
Very, very lucky.
Let's see if we can see that on. Yeah, they sort of hit the inside of the post, and it's led to another corner for the RAF, which will be taken by Molly Lambert, newly on. But at the inside of the corner and then deflected off a player and went out of play. And the RAF have a throw in, and it's all action down this light blue end at the moment with Farrow. And they'll be looking to feed in, just looking, as Kempy said, the height of Georgia Carr, who came on as a substitute, is crucial. You combine that with the feet of Wilson and Farrow, and you've got quite a winning combination of pushing the back there, so that'll be RAF ball.
Oh no, I think she's. I think it's gone Army's way actually.
Oh,
I don't think she
apologies.
called, but no,
Okay.
no, you're right. There was a push, but she didn't call it.
Okay. Well, the RAF still, whether it's their throw or not, they've still got possession.
Oh,
no,
lovely
Army
feet
want
by
back
Demi
up.
Edwards, just selling two of the players there. That's what she's really, really good at. Quick feet.
And Denning again. Oh, what she needed was someone who could run onto that, but Fisher couldn't quite make it in time. Gascoigne gathering the ball for the Royal Air Force. Yeah, let's have a quick look at the deflection there that in goal. Yeah, hits the inside of the goal and then deflects off a player. But just another sign from the RAF of where they're at. I don't know who that was meant for. A loose pass there from Georgia Carr. Farrow's fast, she's not that fast. Burnfield then for the Army back into midfield, but ends up with Herbert. And these aerial battles, and Pip Wilson's won that one.
Yeah, good work by Dunbar there. RAF just look very comfortable at the minute, don't they?
Yeah.
They're just cruising at the minute. There's not really any sign that Army are going to get a goal, if I'm honest.
No, it's definitely been all RAF this second half so far. But I felt that the energy levels in the first half definitely picked up after that Army goal. So perhaps that's what, again, it's definitely what the Army need. There's no doubt about it. And they are very much fighting for pride here.
Yeah, so just noticing Tegan Collins has come on for the Army's replaced Lois Jacobs.
Okay. And hopefully Lewis's back won't be too much of a problem for her, as Rachel Howes has it for the RAF. There we go. Oh, lovely. Yeah, Pip Wilson very quick with her feet. And Burnfield takes that to safety for the Army. And Dunbar now. That was Army far from heads down though, Kempy. You know their mindset, and even a loss, at least. I mean, it's hardly a consolation, but this is a better performance than last week against the Royal Navy.
Yeah, it is better, but I think we're just starting to see whether the difference in standard at the minute between the forces sides. I mean, Army I think if we're going to compete and get this trophy back off the RAF, we need to be a lot more clinical in front of goal, but we need to produce more, because I don't feel we've had that many chances, and if you don't create chances, how are you going to score? So yeah, I think RAF, there's no doubt they have been the better side and do deserve to be 3-1 up at the minute.
I mean, that was a half-hearted or very sort of another substitution for the Army. You'll be able to tell us who's coming on.
So yeah, that's Roxy Williams coming on, just to see who's going off.
I don't know.
So Gemma Dinnan's going off,
Okay.
Immo's going up top, Imogen Fisher's now going to go up top, and Roxy Williams will come over to the right hand side. Big fan of Roxy Williams. Really good player, very strong and determined. She will not let anything. Well, she'll fight for every ball, put it that way. She's a grafter.
Have a lot of these players come up and played at the same level, development level as it looks like Daisy's coming off as well in goal.
Yeah, so they're giving Smithy a go.
Okay.
So Smithy has been at the in-service camp the whole time.
Smith.
Yeah, really, honestly, what a bit of a legend. She's a great personality. She never moans. She's been there the whole time and hasn't. This is the first time she's actually got some minutes. So, I'm really pleased for her to actually see her get some game time. To be fair.
God, yeah, that must be so. And as a goalkeeper as well, you're less likely to come on as a replacement, aren't you? So, yeah.
No, I'm glad she's come on.
Is this Lee's final game in charge? So he's sort of, bringing up the changes and.
Yeah, that's it. It's he will be gutted not to come away with an inter-services or even just to win this game. He will be very disappointed, I know, but he's done a great job with. He's had to work with a lot of different players, constantly changing. Like I said, I think I've said we've had players who have two as well. Obviously, it happens. The likes of Kelly Aldridge, who was one of the best players in the UK Armed Forces team, massive loss. Amber Marsh as well, one of our best defenders. But I'm sure the RAF and the Navy have the same problems. It's not just Army. All players have those. We won't always be able to select our first 11, so it's not an excuse at all.
But it's a perennial problem across forces sport, and that's why we get the team sheets five minutes before we go live.
Exactly. But back to your question, there are a lot of development players within this team now. I can probably count about 6 of them who have come up through the development side.
Whilst we were talking there, Kempi, yellow card was presented, I believe, to the RAF, and the closest player was Georgia Carr.
Okay.
But I have to hold my hands up. I don't exactly know what it was for.
No,
but there was a yellow card.
I didn't see.
Director says tugging.
Oh, there we go.
She's a football expert, so she'll know. Yeah, if you're tugging the shirt, then that is technically what it is. Farrow speed.
Yeah, good work. Well done, Smithy. Nice loud shout.
Nice loud shirt too.
Yeah.
I'd want to play goalkeeper just for the coloured shirts.
I'm sure we can get you a spare.
I don't know if bright orange is really my colour, but anyway, I digress. We're here for the football, Kath, not the fashion. And the Army's new goalkeeper definitely trying to make her mark, but the RAF still ahead 3-1 here at Leek Town, and we have about 10 minutes left remaining here, and of course there will be a winner of the inter-services at the end of this game. At the moment that looks like it's going to be light blue.
Yeah, I forgot to mention we unfortunately lost Chrissy White to this game as well. She was due to play, unfortunately couldn't make this game, so again just another big loss. I think she's our Cat Beaver of the team. She's our Nat Bavister of the team. She's the one who shows great leadership on the pitch, and and she'll hate me for saying this, but even though she's a bit of an oldie like myself, she's definitely still got it.
That's what we like to hear. Georgia Carr then with a bit of pace up against Dumbbell, and Dumbbell wins that battle. Yeah, so we will do our best for those of you who've joined us on the Forces News Facebook and YouTube pages, and I believe we're also live on BFBS TV as the RAF are going to go for another corner, and Molly Lambert stepping up to take these as Rachel Griffiths was subbed off. There will be a winner at the end of today, therefore there will also be trophies galore, and hopefully we should be able to speak to the winners after the game. So do stay with us, and we'll see what we can bring you here from Leek Town as the RAF look to cement their hold on the inter-services. And Pip Wilson with a final say here. Will that be the final say for the RAF with another goal for the brilliant winger that is Pip? Well, brilliant forward that is Pip Wilson.
Yeah, just left alone on her own at the edge of the. On the back post there, and just plenty of time to to fire that past the newly brought on goalkeeper. But I think they said that was a hat trick for Pip Wilson.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think we've said her name quite a lot, haven't we, John?
I know. I've already signed up to her fan club. Did that half time. Yeah, Pip Wilson. Just again, it was control. I mean, we've seen that from Beaver. We've seen that from Farrow. But yeah, Pip Wilson's been the epitome of control there at the front for the RAF. They are now 4-1 up as we go into the last remaining 5 minutes of this inter-services fixture. Of course, there will be some added time. We'll let you know what that's going to be. But yeah, 4-1. I mean, I can't see the Army coming back.
No,
as
hopeful as I am, I think it's safe to say the RAF have won this game. They've won the inter-services, and it's massive congratulations to them. They've worked hard as a team, and even when they've gone 1-0 down, I was clearly getting a little bit excited and hoping that we could bring something out of this game. But the way they've tackled this game and just it worked for each other, we've seen time and time again that They've surrounded the Army with their players. The work rate, not just one player. They've come in a pack, haven't they? Mm-hmm. And they've worked really hard for this.
It's one of those games where you feel like the RAF have got an extra player on the pitch, or two or three, because wherever there's an Army player, the RAF have just descended. And that will just be up to the way that they play, the form that they take. And yeah, as Rachel Howes goes off for a last-minute replacement, it's I think also, Megan Herberts, there's a double change here for the RAF, just giving some of their girls a bit of time on the field in what I think ultimately will be an inter-services winning match. And we'll try and see who's coming on in their place. Emily Gascoigne is also coming off, so we've had a double change in goalkeepers. So replacement goalkeeper coming on for Emily Gascoigne as well. So triple change there for the RAF, just giving some minutes to some of their squad members who may not have had the chance so far. And 4-1 up, that's only natural.
Yeah, perfect opportunity. Like you said, getting a keeper on, it's not often keepers get changed, but why not? You're absolutely cruising, so give us some game time.
So Erin Wilson has come on, number 12. Hayley Poland has also come on, I hope I'm saying that right, Poland. Poland. And I'm not 100% sure who the replacement goalkeeper is, but I'm sure someone will be able to tell me. But Army now, Bernd Russell, who's been a major difference for the Army side this week. Russell again controlling the game. She's surrounded by 5 players.
Yeah, she finds Williams. Again, just that final ball, isn't it?
Laura Parsons is the replacement goalkeeper for the Royal Air Force. She's come on in Emily Gascoigne's place for the remaining 5 minutes of this fixture here at Leek Town, who've been absolutely brilliant for hosting this fixture. A great little ground, a great area, and an all-surface pitch as well, which has been great. So we've had quite a bit of drizzle here for the last hour and a half. Laura Parsons then got her first touch of the ball, and she'll be clearing the RAF lines as soon as she can. But with a 4-1 cushion, the RAF still looking ahead rather than playing safe. But yeah, they'll be pretty pleased with their performance today. Georgia Carr then will try and keep this in place. She's being pursued. Molly Lambert then. And Farrow is still on the pitch, but she's lost it to the Army. And that's a kick forward for Imogen Fisher, who unfortunately hasn't had quite the impact she did with 2 goals last week against the Royal Navy, but she's been well marked. So 3 added minutes for injury time. I doubt either side want to play it, to be honest. You get to this point and you probably just want it to be over, but we've had little bit of fisticuffs down here on the sideline, and that'll be an RAF throw as the drizzle falls again here at Leek Town. Abigail Hayes with the free kick, sorry, not a throw. Everything now could be the final play of this game. The RAF.
Good play by Demi Edwards.
Lovely.
Good tackle by
Erin Wilson there.
Yeah.
Keeping the ball with the light blues. And the RAF just playing for time now, but amazingly still looking like they're attacking the ball. They are leading 4-1, and I can say pretty confidently that they are Inter-Services champions for this year. Reigning champions, of course, they've retained the title. Not always an easy feat. So Charlotte Arrowsmith there. Oh, okay, sorry, it's Army ball. So Gabby Collett. As we just eke out the last few seconds of this game here at Leek Town.
I think it's worth just giving a shout out to the ref. I think the ref's been good today as well. I know, having recently just done my referees course, they get a lot of abuse at times, not obviously today, but you know, and they take a lot of stick, but I think she's been great.
It's one of those games that if you haven't noticed how good they are, that's a good thing, because they've just got on with the game.
She's been brilliant.
Obviously there've been a few yellow cards distributed, but yeah, thank you to all our military officials, and of course all the officials today are from the Royal Navy, so that it's as neutral as it can be. Imogen Fisher with a final try there, but the ball falls out to the RAF, and we really are in the dying seconds of this match here. The RAF and the Army just playing for time.
Oh, lovely by
Lovely dink.
Yeah.
Unfortunately only reached an RAF player for the Army then. If they could get some kind of consolation. Okay. So the RAF with the throw in there, and goes out. These last few minutes of the game, everyone knows the situation. They've just got to play until the final whistle, which should be pretty imminent. They said 3 minutes of added time, and I believe we're at least 30 seconds away from that. So yeah, the RAF back in possession here. Farrow's had an excellent game at the front there, and she's still on. Pip Wilson, of course, with a hat-trick. And yeah, should be pretty pumped with that as the final whistle goes, and the RAF are the Women's Inter-Services champions 2023 with a very decisive 4-1 win here against the Army, and that follows of course their 3-0 win against the Royal Navy. And Kempi, I know with your Army head on you'll be disappointed, but I also know with your football head on that you'll congratulate the RAF on an incredible game and an incredible tournament, because a 3-0 win and a 4-1 win would be, you know, pretty awesome.
You can't argue with that, can you? You can't even, you know, I can't even sit here and be like, oh yeah, you know, we deserve that, because the RAF really deserve that win. You know, 1-0 down, to just not panic and think, you know what, we're quite comfortable. We can claw this back, and what a way they did. 3 superb goals as well by who was it again?
Mia Farrow. That's a famous person. It is Lucy Farrow and Pip Wilson.
Pip Wilson, that's it. Sorry, Pip Wilson. Apologies, her name just. I don't know how I've forgotten her name, because I've been saying it all game. But Pip Wilson, yeah, what a player. But we spoke about the front three, but also obviously Kat Beaver bringing a cool head to the game. And yeah, obviously the Navy, we've got the manager stood right near us, and he will be disappointed because they were in with a shot. Bit of a big ask, I think, for the Army to come and try and get 4 goals past the RAF with their quality. You know, obviously we had the belief, but in the end we just were not good enough. And yeah, congratulations to the RAF, well done. And we'll see, hopefully maybe we can nick it back next year. But I hope they enjoyed tonight, and yeah,
There will always be next year, Kempi, and that's what I love about this, is that when I first started covering sport for BFBS, the Army was so strong. Yeah. And with the likes of Cat Beaver and the sort of, you get this sort of core group of people who come in, and they've made RAF football strong, and it will happen for the Navy, and it will happen again for the Army. It's a really lovely cyclical kind of nice circle to be part of. Who's made the difference for the RAF, do you think? Do you think Cat Beaver, her consistency, or do you think it's the new fresh legs that have come in as well?
I think, honestly, I just think it's hard to pinpoint one player, and they've all worked their socks off to win this inter-services. So I just think them as a group, I think they've just got confidence breeds confidence. They've won it a few years now, and everyone's struggling to get it off them. And as you said, and not me funny, when I used to play Army football, yes, I think we lost the inter-services once in about 6-7 years. But if I'm brutally honest, and I said this to the Army girls, that they are a total different team. They're better teams now than when we used to play them.
OK, well, luckily we have got Cat Beaver and Pip Wilson, who are joining John Knighton down on the touchline, the captain of the RAF and goal scorer, hat-trick goal scorer, Pip Wilson.
Well, celebration time for the RAF women players here. I've got Cat Beaver with me and Pip Wilson as well, hat-trick girl as well. But first of all, Cat, you must be delighted.
Yeah, ecstatic. I think that's personally my fourth, a few others fourth. You got some of the new girls as well. It's what a great experience for them.
And to win another title, Pip, just got to bring you in a hat trick. It's not often you get a hat trick in the services, so you must be absolutely thrilled with that.
Yeah, obviously. Some will say it's a fluke. Obviously, we score goals, but I think main things we've won. 2 convincing wins and 2 out of 2 inter-services in a row. So yeah, I think that's the main thing.
I think that's probably as far as interviews are concerned, but absolutely delighted with that. And Kat, just find out, I just didn't bring you in on this one, Kat. I mean, obviously, you had to come from behind today, so you had to show some grit and determination.
Yeah, we didn't make it easy for ourselves. Like just a mistake. I think we all rallied around, got back. Obviously scored that goal just before half-time, set us on a good footing then to go on in the second half and sort of dominate. I think we were quite comfortable playing it round then in the second half. But fair credit to the Army, they didn't give up, kept going like they did last week as well against the Navy. So yeah, fair play to them.
I was going to say that they kept pressing it, didn't they? They'll be absolutely gutted after today.
Yeah. A few have come over, the more experienced ones that have been around a while. They were, quite upset, but I think, our quality just shone today.
Go and join the celebrations. Congratulations.
She's got a trophy. In her bed, she's got a trophy. In her bed, she's got a trophy. In her bed.
You've got one now.
Some lovely scenes of celebration there from the light blue ladies from the RAF, and our cameraman Lewis Bartley getting right in there. It's where he wants to be. Thank you to John for speaking to Cat Beaver and hat-trick scorer Pip Wilson. We are actually delaying the trophy presentation just by doing those interviews, so we'll stay live so that trophy presentation can be made. Disappointing, Kempi, just while you're here, I mean, what do you say to the Army girls? Much vastly improved from last week, but 4-1 is quite a kick in the guts.
Yeah, it is, but I think obviously there's a lot to work on with Ryan, the new manager, and I know behind the scenes how much hard work has actually gone into this. But and as I said, we're still working with the development and trying to bring these players on. But at the minute, you can see that the RAF are just miles above it at the minute, and we will get there. But it's just I think it's just going to take a bit of time to get where we need to be.
So we are going to stay with you as we have the trophy presentation. There'll be 2 trophies presented. First of all, it's the Chatterton Trophy. It's presented to the winners of the Army versus RAF Inter-Services match. And the Williamson Trophy is then awarded to the overall winners of the Inter-Services football competition. And hopefully we can leave you with that presentation in a while. But Kempi, thank you so much for joining us through this. I know it's difficult A, being neutral, and B, but as a lover of football, I do think on the basis of the games we've seen that military women's football is in a really good place.
Oh, definitely. You know, like I said, I've got friends in the RAF, the Navy, and obviously I'm close with the Army girls, but you know, it's great to see just the teams getting better and better, and every inter-services, you know, I think the standard does get better. So it's been a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Kempi. So we'll leave you now with the presentations of the 2 trophies.
Secret of great comedy's timing. Just a couple of quick thank yous first. Thank you very much to the officials for officiating so well. Thank you very much to Leek Town for hosting us so brilliantly. And thank you to both teams for putting on what I thought was a great game of football. I'm really conscious that when you've just played 90 minutes, the last thing you need is somebody talking too long, so I won't. To the Army team, congratulations. I thought you played some great football at times. A little bit unlucky. To the Air Force team, well played. I thought you played some fabulous football, and I thought we deserved winners, but I would say that wouldn't I. I'll now hand over, so we'll do a few trophies and a few presentations.
Now the referee, Michelle Garrett.
Well done, Michelle. That's really good.
Was it? Hey, well done. Great work. Hey, well played. Well done.
Oh, praise.
Good work. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Hey, well done.
Yeah, so I just want to say that first of all, they get 2 trophies. So at the moment they're receiving the Chesterton Trophy, which is for the match between the Army and the RAF, which obviously was won by the RAF, and then they'll receive the Inter-Services Trophy. So just while you stay with us and see the RAF celebrate, really difficult for the Army to witness, but I think anyone who's watched the 2 RAF games this tournament will agree that they are above their head. But here we go. Here's the Inter-Services Trophy and the real moment they've been waiting for. Congratulations to Cat Beaver and the Royal Air Force ladies. Inter-Services Championships 2023 with a very convincing 4-1 victory here at Leek Town. And just a reminder that if you want to see the men's fixture, we'll be live later at 7:15 on BFBS TV, on Forces News Facebook and on Forces News YouTube. So please do join us to see who can win between the RAF men and the Army men. A reminder that the Army are 3-0 up against the Royal Navy, and it was a draw in the first game between the RAF and the Royal Navy. So all for the Army to lose. Do join us, please, on Facebook or YouTube later. But we leave Leek Town here now with the RAF Women Inter-Services Champions 2023.
Big